pacing yourself is important. And what surprises me is when I talked to an AI about this, it had some good suggestions. Here you go.
Feel like you're stuck on that hamster wheel?
Well,
Like go, go, go.
oh, yeah.
You are not alone.
Absolutely.
So today, we are diving deep into the art of pacing yourself.
Yes.
Because, let's be real, who hasn't pulled an all-nighter?
Right.
Fueled by questionable coffee choices, only to wake up feeling like a shell of a human.
It's rough.
Yeah. This deep dive is all about understanding that sneaky psychology behind why we push ourselves to the limit.
Yes.
And more importantly, how to break free from that cycle
Yeah.
without sacrificing our sanity.
Exactly. Exactly. It's more than just time management, isn't it? It's
Right.
about recognizing, I think we're almost wired to chase that thrill of getting stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
It's addictive, almost.
Oh, tell me about it. You finally close your laptop after a marathon session, and there's this sense of accomplishment,
Yes.
but also this weird emptiness.
Right.
Almost like your brain forgot how to not work.
That's exactly it. And what's so fascinating is that this constant drive, it can morph into this vicious cycle.
Right.
Axel, whose insights we're kind of exploring today, calls it the productivity hangover. You push, you crash,
Oh, yeah.
and then even just the thought of relaxing starts to become associated with feeling lousy.
Like going for a walk,
Yeah.
which should be relaxing, right?
Of course, yeah.
But all you can remember is how drained you felt the last time you tried.
Totally.
And suddenly, rest feels like a chore.
It's the worst.
Axel talks about this riding the wave mentality.
Yeah.
You're on a roll, crushing your to-do list, why hit the brakes?
Right. Why stop when you're on a roll? It's so easy to fall into that trap. But imagine, like, driving a car at 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
You might get to your destination faster. But are you enjoying the ride?
Right.
And how long until you burn out the engine?
You're gonna be stuck on the side of the road.
Exactly. And Axel, he learned this the hard way. This constant need for go, it's just not sustainable.
So how do we break free from this relentless cycle?
Yeah.
Axel has some surprisingly effective and often hilarious strategies.
He does, yeah.
And trust me, they're not what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the problem.
Yeah.
This always-on mentality.
Right.
But now, for the fun part.
Yes.
Axel's unconventional strategies for hacking the pace of life.
I-
And let me tell you, some of these are brilliantly out there.
Yeah, Axel's not afraid to think differently,
Right.
which is so refreshing.
Yeah.
He's all about finding what works,
Totally.
even if it seems counterintuitive at first.
Like pre-relaxation.
Yes.
It sounds like an oxymoron.
Right.
But the more I think about it,
Yeah.
the more I'm like, wait, this is genius.
It's all about anticipation.
Okay.
Axel talks about planning trips where the travel day is intentionally uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Think long flights, layovers, bumpy train rides.
Okay.
Get the idea.
So by the time you arrive, even if it's not perfect,
Yeah,
you're so ready to relax that anything feels amazing in comparison.
exactly. It's like that feeling when you finally get to take off your shoes
Yes.
after a long day. Pure bliss.
Right.
You've earned that relaxation.
Yes, I've totally done that.
Right.
Booked the red-eye flight just to savor that moment when I arrive.
Exactly.
So are we talking about intentionally making life harder?
Not exactly. It's more about building in contrast.
Okay.
We get so used to kind of seeking comfort
Right.
that we forget how good it feels to actually arrive at relaxation.
It's like tricking your brain
Yes.
into appreciating downtime.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Building those peaks and valleys into your experience.
precisely. And it ties into another key strategy, routines.
Okay.
Axel's big on activities with a clear purpose and structure,
Yeah.
even if they don't scream relaxation.
He actually uses commuting in traffic as an example.
Yes.
Which, to be honest, is not my idea of a spa day.
Right, but think about it. You can't really work or be productive.
Right.
So your mind is almost forced to wander,
Yeah.
to disconnect.
Oh.
It's like creating these mental buffers throughout the day.
So even though it's not intentional relaxation,
Right.
it's a forced break,
Yes,
I could see how that could be helpful.
exactly. It's about recognizing those pockets of downtime that already exist in your day
Okay.
and maximizing their restorative potential.
Okay, so we've got pre-relaxation,
Mhm.
structured routines.
Yes.
And then there's this idea of finding joy in giving, even when you're running on empty.
This one really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Axel talks about walking his dog.
Okay.
even on days when he feels drained,
Yeah.
he finds joy in knowing that his dog is happy.
Oh, that's nice.
It's about kind of shifting the focus from your own energy levels
Right.
to something bigger.
Okay.
And in doing so, you might actually discover a surprising source of renewal.
Like what? What are some things?
It could be spending time with loved ones, volunteering, or even just doing a kind deed for a stranger.
So not forcing yourself to feel energized when you're not,
Right.
but finding those little things that bring a spark of joy,
Yes.
even on a tough day.
Exactly. It's about connection and purpose.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's exactly what we need to recharge, even in a small way.
These are some seriously insightful strategies.
He's got good ones.
But what about those times when, despite our best efforts, we still hit that wall?
Yeah.
We've all been there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Burnout,
It
how we try to avoid it. But sometimes it still hits us like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Axel doesn't sugarcoat this.
Nope.
It happens even when you're trying to pace yourself.
It's true. And what's interesting is how he talks about the crash and recovery cycle.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about avoiding burnout altogether,
Right.
but becoming more aware of your personal patterns
Yeah.
within that cycle.
Okay.
He actually tracks his energy levels
Interesting.
to notice those early warning signs.
So instead of thinking we can outrun burnout forever,
Right.
we need to learn to navigate it better,
Yeah,
like recognizing the signs of an impending crash
exactly.
and maybe even getting ahead of it.
Exactly. It's like learning to read the weather patterns of your own energy.
Okay.
As you get better at recognizing the signs, you can start to anticipate those energy dips
Yeah.
and take preventative measures.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about when we miss the signs?
Yeah.
I feel like Axel talks about those deeper levels of burnout.
He does. He calls it the multi-level hole of burnout, which
Multi-level hole.
it sounds kind of terrifying.
Okay, now I'm nervous. What does that even mean?
Imagine this, you've pushed yourself so hard that you're not just physically and mentally drained.
Right.
You've lost the ability to enjoy the things that you love.
Oh, wow.
That's the multi-level hole.
Oh, yeah.
Like falling into a well of exhaustion,
Yeah.
only to realize it's a canyon
Oh, geez.
with even more exhaustion at the bottom and climbing out. Brutal.
Yeah, that's a terrifying image.
It is.
So how do we avoid falling into that canyon in the first place?
Well, it comes back to those early warning signs.
Yeah.
Do you get irritable? Have trouble sleeping? Crave unhealthy foods?
Yeah.
Those are the subtle cues that tell us we're heading toward the edge.
So it's about listening to our bodies and minds,
Yes.
even when they're whispering, not shouting.
Exactly. Think of it like this. If your car's check engine light came on,
Yeah.
would you ignore it and keep driving until the engine exploded?
Hopefully not.
Right, hopefully not.
So we know burnout is a possibility,
Right.
even when we try to pace ourselves. What are some practical things we can do
Yeah.
to stay out of that multi-level hole?
Well, Axel talks a lot about building in safeguards.
Okay.
It starts with identifying activities that genuinely energize you.
Okay.
Not the things you think you should enjoy,
Right.
but the ones that light you up even when you're tired.
It's about figuring out what refuels your tank, even if it's just a small dose.
Right.
For me, it's getting outside,
Nice.
even for a few minutes. Instant mood booster.
Love it. And once you know your energy boosters,
Yeah.
build them into your routine.
Okay.
Maybe it's a daily walk, a weekly coffee date with a friend, or even just setting aside 15 minutes each morning to meditate.
It's about being proactive,
Yes.
not waiting until we're running on fumes
Exactly.
to try to recharge.
Absolutely. And remember, finding your pace is a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
Be patient with yourself, experiment, and don't be afraid to adjust your approach as needed.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
It had.
We've learned about the sneaky addiction to productivity.
Yes.
The genius of pre-relaxation. And the importance of building in those energy-boosting activities.
Love it.
But most importantly, we've learned that finding a sustainable pace isn't about being perfect.
Right.
It's about listening to ourselves,
Right.
recognizing those early warning signs,
Yes.
and having the courage to slow down before we reach the edge of that multi-level hole.
Well said. It's about creating a pace of life that allows us to thrive, not just survive.
And on that note, we'll leave you to continue your own deep dives into a more fulfilling and sustainable way of living.
Yes.
Until next time, happy pacing.